like you'd be lying if you said all of these teams didn't get better this offseason. Because just look at them. Kansas City, they added more talent. Oakland, they, of course, added way more talent than they had last year. The Chargers, they added way more talent too. The Broncos, let's not even talk about them. Everybody knows they added a lot more talent on their roster, and they are stacked on that roster. And before I get into this video, I just want to talk about Denver for a second. Denver has a team that not only are they stacked, they don't have to pay anyone soon. Like Drew Lock on a rookie contract. I don't even know about their offensive line, though. I don't pay attention to offensive lineman contracts, okay? The receivers, all of them are on rookie contracts. Tight end on a rookie contract. Defense, Bradley Chubb on a rookie contract. Their corner Justin Simmons is on a rookie contract, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, they got a lot of players on a rookie contract, and some of them aren't paid that much, and others might be paid a lot, but that's only a few players. So yeah, Denver stacked roster. But now coming in with the 5 seed, I got the 4 seed, I got the Oakland Raiders with a 5-11 record. The Raiders, in this division, unless you have a super stacked roster, you can't win more than 6 games. And I don't think Oakland can win 6 games. I think they can only win 5. This division is stacked with rosters that are way better than this Oakland roster. Chargers, of course, Denver, Kansas City, all better rosters than this Oakland roster. The Raiders, Derek Carr, average QB. Josh Jacobs, really nice running back. Their wideouts, Tyrell Williams, he was a nice receiver last year. Henry Ruggs, of course, everybody knows what he can do. Their tight ends, Darren Waller, nice tight end. So the Raiders, they got some decent offensive weapons, nice weapons. Offensive line is nice. They got a nice Trent Brown. Their defense, Max Crosby, Arden Key, Benson Naya, Clinton Farrell. That's a nice D-line and pass rush. Their corners, Damon Arnett Jr., Jonathan Abram, and Marcus Joyner are a nice safety combo. Corey Littleton, of course, big free agent move by them to get Corey Littleton. So their defense is good. Their offense has talent. But in this division, you got to have superb talent. And the Raiders don't have that. So I think they can go 5-11 this season, at least win 5 games. And yeah, I think that the Raiders go 5-11. Now, with the 3 seed, I got Los Angeles Chargers with a 7-9 record. I honestly do think that the Chargers can win 7 games and have a nice 7-9 record and only going to build off of that. I think this Charger roster is stacked. Their offense doesn't have a QB, an unknown QB. And that's the big thing right there. You don't have a QB, I don't think that you're going to win games. Well, you're going to win games, but not playoff type of games. Not going to be able to get into the playoffs. Their receivers, Keenan Allen, underrated receiver. Mike Williams, another underrated receiver. Their running backs, Austin Eckler, one of the better receiving backs in football, and a nice running back. Their tight ends, of course, they got Hunter Henry. This offseason, they put in a lot of work to make sure that offensive line was good for whoever they had at QB to work with. They spent $10 million to go get Brian Beluga. They got Trey Turner. Defense, Kenneth Murray, who they drafted. They got, of course, Derwin James. In my opinion, Derwin James is the best safety in football. I know a lot of people think it's Michael Fitzpatrick or Jamal Adams or even Buda Baker or Eddie Jackson. I think it's Derwin James as the best safety in football. They got Chris Harris, Casey Hayward, Desmond King. They got a lot of really good top-side talent on that defense. Of course, Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram. I know Melvin Ingram is currently unhappy with his contract, but I think they'll get it done. They'll get a new contract done with Melvin Gordon. I think the Chargers have a really stacked roster. But, of course, it all comes from the QB. So, I think they can go 7-9 under whoever they decide to start at QB. Now, with the 2 seed, I got the Denver Broncos. You cannot say that this roster is not loaded from top to bottom. Start off from the backfield. They got Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay. Drew Lock can easily just hand it off to either one of them. Quarterback, Drew Lock. Yeah, he's no great quarterback, but he's an above-average quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He can do something. Drew Lock has all these weapons. He can just pass it to Noah Fant. He can pass it to Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, any one of those weapons. He has a good offensive line blocking for him. His Denver team is going nowhere but the playoffs. This is the most stacked roster in this division with no doubt. This roster is so stacked. Their defense, they got Von Miller. Everybody knows what Von Miller can do. They got Bradley Chubb, who had a phenomenal rookie year. They got AJ Boye roaming around back there. Not to mention Jarrell Casey rushing up the middle. They got arguably the best safety duo in football with Kareem Jackson and Justin Simmons. You can't say that this roster is bad. And it's not stacked top to bottom. They got Justin Simmons and Kareem Jackson. Great safety duo. AJ Boye at corner. And a good pass rush to complement that with Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, and Jarrell Casey up the middle. This team is going nowhere but the playoffs. I think they go 11-5. I think they're going to be pushing the Chiefs for that one place. And ultimately, I don't think they win it. But I think they can push Kansas City to the limit. And they are going to go nowhere but up this season. You really think they're going to repeat what they did last year with this roster? Look at these off-season acquisitions for them. Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Melvin Gordon, Jarrell Casey, AJ Boye. That's 5 new, really, really good players to complement a team that was pretty loaded to begin with. You cannot say that this team is going to suck. I just think that's dumb. Now, with the 1 seed, I got the Kansas City Chiefs yet again. Think they win their division yet again. And, I mean, they clearly have the best quarterback in this division. They have Mahomes. They got Mahomes. When you look at that roster and you see that they got Mahomes, you automatically know that they win their division. As loaded as Denver is, I think that Kansas City has a slight edge because of one player, Patrick Mahomes. Look at his offense. McCole Hardman and Tyreek Hill, 2 elite wideouts. Sammy Watkins, an average receiver. Demarcus Robinson, average receiver. And Byron Pringle, a speed burner. They got 5 speed burners on that team. In the backfield, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's in there. Not a very good offensive line, but I mean, so be it. You can't have a perfect offense unless you're Denver. Their defense, it's not good. It's just not good. But I mean, if Chris Jones and Frank Clark and whatever other pass rushers they have, they can get a good pass rush going, and they can help out their secondary, this defense will not be garbage. It'll just be garbage. It won't be like terribly bad garbage. It'll just be garbage. Like, instead of being worse, without a doubt, it'll be like, 28-29 type of D. I mean, their best player in the secondary, I know everyone can say Tyrann Mathieu. It's Tyrann Mathieu without a doubt. It's not Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann Mathieu is not the best player in that secondary. The best player in that secondary is Juan Thornhill without a doubt. Juan Thornhill is pretty much their only good player in that secondary. Tyrann Mathieu is overrated, overpaid. Yeah. I mean, Kansas City, their offense is just unstoppable. Unless you're Pittsburgh and you got that Pittsburgh D. No other defense in football can hold this Kansas City offense. Maybe Philadelphia, but Philadelphia doesn't really have a safety. Maybe Los Angeles and Denver, but Mahomes will find some way because with the Los Angeles Chargers, they have some weak spots in that team. Coverage is a weak spot on that roster at linebacker, and they need another safety opposite Derwin James. They lost Adrian Phillips, so Mahomes could target them there. Denver, I love AJ Boye, but they do have one soft spot, and that is another corner near him. But all 3 of these defenses, they won't let Mahomes go off, but they can't stop him and Pittsburgh can't stop him. Pittsburgh can hold him to 17. Denver and Philly and the Chargers, they can hold him to 27 points. No other defense can hold him below 27 points. He's going to be putting up at least 35, 36 points on every D. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I think that the Chargers or the Raiders will be 4th, Chargers 3, Denver 2, Kansas City 1, and yeah, that is pretty much it for my video. See you guys in my next video.